Hey, what's happening to you guys? Extreme Pro Sonic here and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be me talking about something that I didn't realize was actually happening until I went back and decided to read up on some of the Sonic comics, the Sonic the Hedgehog comics and the Sonic Universe comics. Now, as most of you know by now, there's been a report by TSSZ that the Sonic comics might actually have been cancelled. So Sonic issue number 291 has been listed as cancelled, and according to their article, Archie will be emailing a lot of people who are subscribed to the Sonic issues that their subscription is basically cancelled, and they'll be refunding them money or credits or whatever it may be to get other Archie comics. Now, I find this to be really surprising because I didn't know why they would do something like that, or I wasn't even aware that the comics were pretty much cancelled. But I've been reading a lot on people's opinions on what they think about this various issue, and one thing kind of struck me a little bit interesting. Some people are speculating on this particular issue, and I'm going to be speculating. I'm going to let you guys know when I'm going to be releasing my dumb shit speculation, because I'm titling it as that because it literally doesn't make any sense if Sega went with that direction. Now, the reason why I'm tying this with Sonic Forces is because, as you guys know, Sonic Forces is literally about Sonic and his resistance party fighting the good fight against Eggman and his dominant rule over planet Earth. Now, as of right now, we don't know how he managed to do something like this, because all these years, Eggman has tried so many times. Actually, his goal at first was just to create an Eggman land or something like that. But now he went on and conquered the entire world, 99% of it. This is something Eggman has never actually done ever, so it is a huge feat for him. Now, a lot of the speculation is to how did he manage to do something like that, and people obviously have been pushing out theories and speculations as to how he might have done something like this. At this point in time, no one can guess it because it's literally so mysterious at this point. But there was something about people's speculation as to why the Sonic comics were cancelled that got me a little bit interested, and here's where my dumb shit speculation comes into effect. Now, a lot of people are speculating that Sega is trying to get the rights of some of their characters back from Archie, because as you guys know, the Archie comics, when it comes to the Sonic stuff, is separate from the main game series of the Sonic franchise. So what people are speculating here, and I just did an air quote as if you guys can see it, but basically what people are speculating is that they're trying to get some of the Archie characters from Archie and have full property right over them, which is weird because I assumed that Sega always had full control over their characters and how they wanted them to be represented. But I don't know, just go along with my theory as to now. Now, I was thinking about that and I thought to myself, it doesn't make any sense, really. It really doesn't. I mean, how many characters could they probably pull from the comic franchise to be able to implement them into the video game franchise? I mean, we've got Sally, we've got Boomer, Roto, I think, we got Anthony, we got the Bunny, and that's all I can think of that were part of the Resistance. Obviously, we've got Tails. Knuckles wasn't really part of the Resistance. He helped out, but he wasn't really part of them. I don't think so. Anyways, we got that. So that's like, was it 6 characters or something like that? That's no worth cancelling out an entire comic lineup, especially one that's actually super close to their 300 issue milestone. It doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Now, the most logical conclusion would be that maybe finances just aren't there where they used to be. People probably aren't reading the comic books like they used to, and instead of wasting resources creating these comic books, it was simply a better option just to cancel it. Now, a lot of people are also speculating that Archie wants to put all their resources into creating better lineups for the Riverdale comics, because as you guys know, I think CW is the one that has Riverdale, and there's a series going on right now. I haven't really watched it. I heard it's pretty good, so maybe I might check it out. But basically, they want to put more resources into their other Archie comics, one of them being Riverdale. So that's one of the reasons why people assume that that's why they cancelled it. But back to what I was saying about people thinking that they're canceling the Sonic comics just to bring in characters into the game. Now that could be possible, because as you guys know, if you've read the comics, now my memory may be a little bit hazy here, but I believe Eggman actually did something similar to what's happening in Sonic Forces in the comics, using something called the Super Genesis Wave. Now he used this to manipulate time and space and the timeline itself. So he changed various things in the comics, you know, changed how things turned out. He managed to turn Sally into a robot. He basically ruined Sonic's life, basically. And you know, he managed to do this to the point where if he had one Chaos Emerald, he's able to change a lot of things. He made a lot of people believe that he was the ruler of the world. He had a lot of army, a lot of people fighting for him. And obviously Sonic and Mega Man at that time were kind of, they felt the effect, but they didn't realize it until some event happened. I can't remember what it is, I have to go back and read it. But basically they got back their memories, fixed it. Well, Mega Man fixed his world, but when Sonic went to fix his dimension, stuff like that, Eggman intervened and caused a huge chaos when he was trying to fix his world, and that created some kind of disruption, creating multiple fractures in the universe, and that's what's leading up to what's happening now. It's basically a reboot. It was basically a reboot. So what I'm thinking is that maybe they're trying to take that concept, what Eggman did in the comics, and bring it into the Sonic Forces. Maybe there's a similar type of event that happened in the game, whereas Eggman pretty much used something similar to the Super Genesis Wave and changed different things in the timeline. That would explain why Green Hill Zone has, you know, sand flowing instead of water. That would explain why the future is disrupted, and why wherever Sonic was standing on was pretty much, you know, blown into flames or whatever. So that could be the reason, but I don't think it's not the reason. That was just me just trying to use the logic that people were trying to, you know, implement in the comment section, and just see if it was plausible. I don't think it is, but it sounds pretty interesting. That would open up a lot of possibilities when it comes to different level designs and just the story in general, because like from what I've gathered up when it comes to Sonic Forces, according to someone from Polygon, I have to go and look up this sources, so don't quote me on this. This is just me once again speculating, but according to someone from Polygon, classic Sonic isn't actually a past Sonic from the modern Sonic, but instead an alternative version of the past Sonic. I don't know. I don't know. So it's not the same Sonic that was. It's not the same classic Sonic that showed up in the Sonic generation. You know, it's a different Sonic. It's an alternative version. So this could tie into the whole dimension thing. Maybe classic Sonic doesn't actually show up alongside modern Sonic, but instead there's a section in the story where we actually go back and experience what Sonic sees in his memories, and realizes that some of the things that he experienced as a child doesn't really correlate with what's happening with his other memory. I don't know, look, I'm just speculating here. This is all dumb shit speculation just to see if it's plausible. So that could be the case. Obviously we won't see Mega Man showing up anytime soon. I'm just saying that maybe they're trying to get the concept of what happened in the comics and apply it to the video games. That could be it, but like I said, not plausible. Doesn't make sense for them to cancel an entire series that fans have dedicated their lives to read and, you know, maintain. And we see people actually, you know, dub these comics on YouTube because they're really passionate about it. They really enjoy reading those comic books. But so to cancel it just to take some mechanics from the comics into the video games doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. But if it is true, and they really did this, it could probably work in their benefit. I think maybe it could, maybe it couldn't, I don't know, but it could probably work to their benefit, because there's a lot more materials in the comics than there are in the video games. things Sonic was able to do in the comics that he still hasn't done, I guess, in the video games could be applied, you know. And you also could pretty much help with the Toad character, I guess. I don't know. I don't really care about the Toad character. No, I can't lie. I do care. I just don't care so much now than I did a few days ago. I don't know. So, and even if they did do it, even if they did cancel the entire comics books, I don't see one character that's actually worth bringing into the main game, you know, franchise. It doesn't make sense. You know, like, I could see only one, maybe Scourge, but you know, it doesn't really make sense. So yeah, now speaking of Sonic Forces and the story and stuff like that, I'm also thinking that maybe a lot of people have been speculating as well that pretty much Eggman might not actually be the main villain, that there could be other people possibly in charge of this whole villainy thing. And there is one person that's kind of in my mind right now, but I can't really remember his name, so I'm just looking it up now. It's his nephew, Snivel Robotnik. Maybe Snivel Robotnik is making his comeback. Maybe that's the character that they actually want to bring into the game. Maybe because we all know Snivel is a lot more cunning than Eggman, because Eggman, he's smart, but he's goofy smart, I guess. But Snivel is diabolically evil. Like he plans things behind Eggman. He knows. He actually mentioned some good points when Eggman was kind of rebuilding Metal Sonic, and he kind of questioned why he doesn't just build multiple Metal Sonic. I mean, if he did that, if he mass-produced Metal Sonic to a huge amount, he could probably kill Sonic basically. But you know, that could be one of the characters that they are trying to get into the video game stuff, but I don't know, you know. Besides that, the only one I can think of being viable would be yeah, that's it. That's just it. That's the only character that might make sense. Maybe that's why Eggman didn't really actually conquer the, you know, world, but instead it's actually his nephew Snivel, because Snivel has the potential. He's a lot more cunning, like I said. He's a lot more, I wouldn't say smarter than Eggman, but he's there. He's up there. But yeah, that's just my speculation. Well, a speculation based on other people's speculations. So, like I said, let's go back to reality. Reality, I'm saying, is that it's not possible. It doesn't really make any sense. I'm probably 90% sure, maybe 80% sure that the reason why the Sonic comics and the you know, the universe Sonic comics are being cancelled is because maybe financial issues. They just don't have enough finance to see this being viable in the future, so they're pulling the plug, ending the series. Unfortunately, at such a bad time, seeing that it was so close to their 300 milestone. I wish they could have just pushed it just a little bit further, maybe just bite the bullet and just pushed it to 300, but obviously business is all about making money, so yeah. But it is pretty interesting. It is pretty interesting if they really are trying to do this, because for years I've always wondered why they don't just take some ideas from the comics and implement them into the video games, because like nothing in the comics is that bad where they can't just pull some ideas and put it into the video games, because we see the comics take stuff from the video games and expand upon it, which is pretty cool to see. So maybe they're trying to reverse that, but I don't know. I really don't know. So anyways, let me know what you guys think about Sonic comics being cancelled. It's a shame, really. I did enjoy them. I mean, you know, we got to see some characters flesh out. I feel like the Sonic comics actually helped change people's minds about Silver, because Silver had his own, you know, saga. He had his Sonic Universe saga, and then he had some saga in the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. People got to see his abilities, you know, to the fullest extent. We didn't see his max extent, but we saw what he was capable of, and that got people kind of to respect Silver a little bit, and to say, you know what, he's actually a dope character, but it's the Sonic the Hedgehog 6 game that ruined his image for a bit. Oh well, I don't know what to say. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you think that people's ideas on, you know, Sega cancelling their deal with Archie in order for them to pull their characters back and have some rights to it? Because I don't know, I've always felt like, and I feel like I'm repeating myself here, but I've always felt like Sega had full control over all their characters, and what they're doing is that they're just licensing these characters to Archie to make comics with. That's what I've always felt, but I could be wrong. I haven't really delved too much into it. I've just been a fan who picked up the comics, read them, enjoyed them, and just left like that. But anyways, what do you guys think of my theory of people's ideas? Do you think it's a cool idea? Do you think it's not? I mean, it's one of the only way I can see, you know, Eggman actually conquering the entire world. Because it doesn't seem, I don't think he can do it if it's not time manipulation or time reality manipulation. Because, you know, the world where Eggman and Sonic are based in, they have gone, and other government authorities that would prevent Eggman even conquering up to maybe 50% of the world, you know, because Eggman has always been able to mass produce dozens of robots, but obviously they've been taken out very easily by every person who has any fighting capabilities and stuff like that. But anyways, that's just my observation of what people think. You know how the Sonic communities are. Anything that even has a small chance of being true, they'll reach for it and they'll twist it to make it match. But anyways, I'm Sonic. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.